Hey guys, this is Julie. Good afternoon, good morning. What we've got here is the E-mini um, March contract for the daily, and the monthly distributions are on the chart. I've got a monthly 1, 2, 3 and a 30-day 1, 2, 3. Um, I've got the monthly on both open and close, and let me put a 30-day open and close, but I kind of stopped when I got to the monthly close. The monthly close, 1 month on the close, right here at 58.56, is 5% off that swing high of 61.6225 right here. So we went to the monthly two up here, and that was on the open. But here is the monthly two on the close right here. And I think that's where we're going to be going. And one way to confirm that is to look at, the time. There's 3 weeks to the end of the month. If you look at your calendar, you've got from the 10th to the 14th, you've got the 17th through the 21st, and the 24th through the 28th. Now, the 17th is a holiday, that's President's Day, so there's really a 4-day week. So, but still, three, calendar weeks to get down there is plenty of time. And you can confirm that by putting the JATS oscillator on the chart a couple of different ways. So we're going to put it 3 times on the chart, or 4 times. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Hit enter. Apply. That's going to be put 4 instances of the oscillator. The oscillator is called, that was my first version. So the first thing I built was the oscillator. And it's actually version 2 of my oscillator. And then I updated it with one little minor change, HTF. It's basically the same thing. There's only one difference in the way that the gap is measured from Sunday to Monday, and you normally do not even, you know, pay attention to it. But if there were a gap situation, you might want to review the data in this second one. Otherwise, I always use the first one because it's the first step and easy to get to. Version 3 was when I went up here and added the levels. So you get the same point range, but above or below the open or close for any period that you select. So it can be a 14 period for a month one. If you wanted a one period for day 30, you could do that. So you have the control over the volatility that you would like to measure. And so when you put the distributions on the chart like this, you can do several things with it. So let me go down here to the second instance, and I'm going to use my template that just shows a one period, and I'm going to put it on top of that first oscillator in number 2. And what this does is it now will show me the actual point range that the market moved in that day. So it can tell me a lot if I'm below the 2. So if prices, or the current volatility price, high and low, is between, the 1 and the 2, you've got real small bars. You see that? Real small range. When it's going from the 2 to the 3, your range increases. And this is when you might want to turn your auto trading strategies on. You see what I mean? Because then you've got a chance to get some points. All you need are just a few points, right? You can make a great living. But you got to know if you're below the 2 on the daily, which just means more backfill, short bars going up and down over each other. So it's like taking a motorcycle and trying to climb up a tree. It doesn't work. You come right back down. So it's better to try to time your trades, right, when you're going above the two or the three, and even better if you're going out. So if you can, at least know if you're inside the one or two, you can be selling premium close in, if the volatility starts moving out, then you roll your premium out, or you trade a directional trade strategy with it for hedging. All right, so the third one, I want to do 30 day. So I can actually tell it an actual different date. So I want to see how many, points are in a 30-day range. And that way I could measure that distance from that high. So 61, 62, 25 was our high. Let me get my HP12C out. And 61, 62, 25. We'll take that 239 points and subtract it, and I get 59.23. So there is another level from the high to the 2 of 59.23.25. So we can write or draw a line on the chart for our resistance or support, excuse me. Right there. So that looks like it's in the middle of these ones. So we might see a inflection here. But the overall level from the open or close, like the algos like to trade, extends lower. So I would imagine that we're going to see price come down to this area. And so you could, plan your excursion to get there, plan around that using your knowledge of where the current volatility is relative to the historical volatility. So the yellow is the current, and the 1, 2, 3 is the historical. And like I said, when you see that you're above the historical range, that's when you get a chance to take a directional trade with a higher degree of probability. And so if you start thinking in probabilities and trying to plan your activity around that, could be beneficial. And having a knowledge of what the total point range is for a given volatility level, low, medium, or high. So since we're going down, we could also get the 333 point range going, and see how far that is from that high, and see if it falls anywhere near a 1, 2, 3 level. So right here is 419, so I overshot it. Right here, 333. Oops, there's 330. So yeah, I mean that takes me right here also. So there's, numerous confirmation that this could be a really nice area for the market to come down in. So we're using the actual range as probability metrics. What does it necessarily say that that's going to happen? I mean, price could turn around and go up. We don't know. But if we get this daily bar moving, or the daily current range moving above the real or the historical volatility, then yes, it's going to be coming down. When it goes back inside the range down in here, this is when you get your low bar float. See that? All right, so what is this last one for? So we can measure term structure. So how many days are between Monday, how many trade days between Monday and the end of the month? So you've got 5 days at the last week. There is an extra, 28 days this month. So 5 and 4 is 9, and 5, 14. So we can change our day to 14 and trade, see how many trade, points are in that term structure. All right, and let me, oh, why don't I have my price markers? All right, so we can plan for about 191 points, 192 points, up to 192 points to, available for 14 days. So isn't that cool? So then you can plan out, you know, where am I going to go for 200 or 191 points? And look, it goes right here. Look, look, do you see that? I just gave us a multitude of confirmations, all heading to the same spot. So this is how you use JETS PT, so that you can plan ahead of where you think the market might be going, what obstacles might be in the way. Here's a 1-1, monthly one, and 30-day one, before you get to the ultimate landing zone. So when is that holiday? Next Monday, President's Day. All right. So so yeah, plan your trades, use JATS. Like I said, you can use this for spreads and sell premium out of the money. It ties up a lot of capital, but it's high probability. Look at this. It went to the quarterly mean and turned around. I measured these means out yesterday, and this just shows you the power of having JATS, and you can put your own spreads up using, if you want a monthly spread, a 30-day or 1 month, which are the trading days in the month, or 4 week. And that's what I have on this chart. I have all three of those. So this will help you plan, where to sell premium. Monthly. The weekly works well too for the yellow line, which is 1.5 times the distribution. 1.5 times the month. So see right here, it came right down to 1.5 times. Almost hit 1.5 times up there, but that 1.5 times is definitely the control. Like right here, right at it. Saved it. So, we can see that the market is algorithmic, and here it went right down to the monthly 3. So you can use this and test it. I mean, just put the eyeball test on it and look. I mean, weekly levels. We can do the same thing for daily. So if you like your 0 DTE, look at this. You're going to love JATS PT. and just go back in different time periods. So, like if you get an OPEX, you might want to see what the past levels performed like. But ordinarily, it stays within 1.5, just like the weekly. But you can do 1.5, two, 2.5, and 3 times the range. You can go out 6 times. You can go Six Sigma if you want. Just keep building it. So, do the same thing with these, distributions. You can measure 12-week, 90 days, or 3 months and get a real good picture of where prices, the direction. When you're inside the ones, like this quarterly one, they're just delta neutral. They don't care where it goes, right? This is all driven by market makers inside the range. It's when you get to these edges, that's when the dealer takes control and sets pins where they want price to move. And they often rely on my levels. Um, so for the market, how it trades currently, hopefully, won't change. But even if it changes, we can change and adapt because, like I said, we have the ability to adjust periods and time. And that's all it is time and price. So, time and price. So, we can do it all, open and close. So, it's a pretty good handy tool, and it's available on the NinjaTrader 8 platform. And you can trade futures and options. Um, the platform is considering getting single stock futures, so I will have all of the stock symbols and we'll be able to draw distributions for those. And you can sell premium on the single stock levels, the JAX levels, once we get the single stock futures. I'm looking forward to that. Also, they have data for crypto. If there is an audience for crypto, we can get data for crypto and build the distributions for that. Um, we're not able to do quarterly data at this time because there's not enough historical data. It's a relatively new futures instrument, so not enough time has elapsed to allow me to build good quarterly distributions, but I can get monthly and weekly and daily. So which is great. Um, but definitely think volatility where you are inside the monthly, weekly, quarterly, daily levels. And more importantly, like I just showed you, what that overall framework is doing. If you have how many points left in the period, so either coming or going, you can say how many days from day 1 through day 20 that I'm at to see what that point range should be. And then you can measure how many days forward going in the future, from that day to the end of the month, whatever the number of trade days, draw that number in the distribution, so 14 days in this case, get an approximation of whether you're in low, medium, or high ball. The expected range is always the second number 2, 68% of the range, measuring from mean to 3. So, and as you can see here, the market um, loves this distribution. And these are not back painted. I mean, these are actual levels. The calendar day levels are more dynamic, right? The monthly levels, you have a month open and a month closed, so it doesn't change during the month. But the calendar days roll. So each time it hits that, a high low within that period of time can adjust that distribution. So it's continually changing, constantly changing, which makes it fun to trade because, your calendar days are the ones that you can really profit from, having that extra ability to manage risk in and out of that distribution. So yeah, it's great. We post levels in the morning on Substack, so you can get a Substack subscription without having NinjaTrader. And right now we're posting ES and Q, Russell and YM VIX and SPX and NDX every morning. So, and with some analysis and um, premium content. Eventually, we'll be doing more like a signal service. So we can give you key support resistance levels whenever price comes into proximity to one of our key support resistance levels. We can send an alert out and match this with our analysis using Quick Strike, premium options analysis tools, and get an idea of whether the market is going to be, supported or slippery when wet, or even negative, holy crap, sell everything, which occurs a lot during certain periods of time, like OPEX or expiration, or the week after, the window of weakness, as Jam likes to tell us. So, which, is very, you know, accurate market phenomena. So use, gamma and options and delta dynamics with the JATS PT levels to understand how the dealer dynamic is within that range. I mean, obviously, I've set it up like this range anyway, right? But knowing the peak gamma could be off a little bit, from my center. So I put us right there at the open. Very clever. But the actual distribution could be shifted a little bit, and having that knowledge of when that shift starts and how it rolls from that point, up or down, can be very beneficial for how you trade this. So we post our analysis in the morning, and charts. Let me come back here and show you the charts. So in the morning, you can get daily, you know, take a look at it, see how the ones are shaping up. Uh, Weekly. What I like about this too is you can really get, a close-up look at where the levels are and see how the support resistance. This was a weekly 2 for resistance. Monthly and quarterly. And here's the quarterly. Key levels. Oops. Right there. And then some spreads. I go ahead and post those for you so you could get all of your, if you wanted a weekly spread or a daily spread, where these 1-2 times a range. The orange are 1 time, yellow are 1.5, white are 2 times, red are 2.5, and white are 3 times. Really should make this blue or something for 3 times the range. Alright, so that should help you whether you're going to stay inside the range or go outside. And again, having an indication, I need to put that oscillator on here to show you whether that current period is going in or out of the historical volatility, which really helps you try to plan um, either rolling your risk out a little bit or trade to a level. So if you wanted, to get paid on these higher out of the money levels, you need to make sure that that one period is way outside that 14 period, right? And then you might get paid for those higher levels. You can also see the distribution widen when that sets up. Okay, so a lot to give you, and it's available for the NinjaTrader platform. You can come to the website and get the indicator right here. And the price oscillator too, we haven't really talked a lot about that. I'll be doing more with that, which measures how far price has moved from the EMA or a Bollinger high or low. And we'll talk about that. All right. So that hope you get a feeling for it. Training on Wednesday, help you answer any questions or show you a little bit more with how to use the levels with Blackbird. So you can trade the indicator with your strategies in a Bloodhound template or just use the levels as they are in Blackbird for managing risk and taking profits and backtest. Okie dokie. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great weekend. Talk to you later.